So today is June 30th, 2026, and if you're transgender living in America, today is not your day. The Supreme Court ruled against the trans women playing in women and girls sports, and it is not about that at all. I mean, it's much worse than people were thinking or see on the surface level, and I'm going to break it down for you. So, give it a like, give it a sub. Share this within the community. Help people understand that, not be blindsided by the language that politicians and lawmakers are about to use, and the potential laws that are going to go into place, and the potential litigation that's going to cause mental strain on our community even further than it ever needed to. We're already this group that's already been we already faced our own discriminations. We didn't need this fake culture war. And now we have we're just trying the few of us that actually want to participate in sports. And what are we, by the way? Are we green haired and overweight and we don't exercise, and you want to pick fun at us for that? Or are you actively banning us from having an ability to participate in sports and all of society altogether? So hi, welcome. I didn't sign up for this political war, but here we are. The Supreme Court ruled against the transgender students. The West Virginia versus BPJ and Little versus Hecox. The court held a 6-3 decision that states may keep girls' and women's school sports limited by biological sex, and that doing so does not violate Title IX or equal protection. So what this directly means is that Idaho and West Virginia can enforce the trans athlete bans similar to bans many other states are now similar bans in many other states are now much harder to challenge, and there are similar laws being proposed in 25 other states. So that's where we're at with this, right? The scary part is the legal language. It's not that, trans people in sports. Most trans people aren't playing sports. Most trans people don't care. In fact, I made a short not so long ago talking about the college trans students and the odds of you versing a college trans athlete in college. You're more likely to hit the 4-digit daily lottery number 11 days in a row than to verse a transgender athlete. But, some people hit those numbers once or twice or 6 times in their life, and a majority of people that play it for their lifetime never do. Anyways, the bad direct impact is that trans girls and women lost the Supreme Court or school sport ban. The bad legal precedent of this is courts now have stronger Supreme Court language to uphold laws framed around biological sex, fairness, safety, and medical and scientific uncertainty, right? So the thing that you need to watch out for next is the Medicaid and insurance exclusions, adult surgery coverage cases, bathroom and locker room cases, federal Title IX enforcement, and CMS HHS rulings. It's a lot, right? It's a lot to digest, right? And by the way, I do just want to say, back in school, I was 240 pounds of body, heavy fat, right? There's another kid that wanted to be Arnold Schwarzenegger and injected himself with testosterone, was 255 pounds of pure muscle, and was able to fracture my nose with a volleyball. Are we going to do something about the kids that are on T? The guys that are on T next? Are we going to is it just that we're going after trans people? Is it really about fairness? And so, we have this uprising of trans youth, but how many trans youth are there at this point? We've already banned trans youth care everywhere, essentially, right? New York's the only place that you can potentially possibly get care for a trans youth kind of person, right? And so this litigation just seems a little bit ridiculous because now they have this wording, and that's what I was afraid of. And that's what I've been watching. And I'm concerned about moving forward, how this is going to shape the political field and how trans people are treated. And we've already faced enough stigma it's beyond enough. Like, we don't need this extra exclusion. I'm worried about my friends. I'm worried about the people that I care about, right? So, the sports ban. Existing bans get enforced. Pending laws become harder, right? What could happen? This is what I'm saying. What could happen and how likely and how fast, right? So, sports ban. Existing bans getting enforced. Pending laws become harder. That could happen immediately to weeks. School bans and locker rooms. States may argue the same biological sex logic applies to sex separated spaces. This could happen within months to 1 to 2 years. Title IX protections. Schools or federal agencies could narrow sex discrimination so it protects birth sex categories more than gender identity, because that's all it is a gender identity now. This could happen in months if agencies act, years if courts resolve it. Medical coverage. States and insurers may argue exclusions about procedures, costs, or medical uncertainty. It would not be discrimination against trans people. Do you understand how this could are you getting it's already happening in states, by the way, but there's likely to be more over the next months to the year. Medicaid exclusions. Hostile states could try to exclude surgeries or youth care from Medicaid and cite the case of Skrmetti, Skrmetti, months to years on this one, depending on the state law and lawsuits. IDs, passports, prisons, and shelters. More biological sex rules may be defended using the ruling's logic over the next months to years. Adult hormone therapy and adult surgery, not directly banned by this ruling, but coverage fights could become a lot more hostile in certain states. As far as like when that's implemented, it's, not as fast as these other things, but still, I'm sure they're going to try. And I want to leave you with this. This is the same Supreme Court that has made a lot of decisions lately on EPA and environmental regulation that may not be like the best thing, right? There was the Ohio versus EPA in 2024. There was the Loper Bright versus Raimondo in 2024. It was the overturned Chevron defense, meaning courts could no longer have to defer an agency or interpretation of ambiguous laws. This affects EPA, climate rules, health rules, labor rules, everything regulatory. Ohio versus EPA was blocked EPA's Good Neighbor air pollution plan while litigation continued. The rule targeted smog-forming pollution drifting across state lines. Good thing I live in Pennsylvania. It's awesome. We had the East Palestine train derailment and the Canada wildfires a few years back. But yeah, and it continues to develop in this direction. We have the San Francisco versus EPA in the 2025 that the Supreme Court ruled limited EPA's ability to use broad end result water quality permit requirements under the Clean Water Act. And also the 2025 ruling of Seven County Infrastructure versus Eagle County narrowed environmental review under NEPA, making it harder to force agencies to analyze wider climate impacts from related projects like fossil fuel transport leading to more drilling or refining. This is the Supreme Court that is making the decisions on behalf of us. This is the Supreme Court that has made decisions on why you are going to boil in these heat domes that are currently going on. Take with it what you will. Keep your eye on what's going to develop from this. Understand why lawmakers are getting more aggressive with their language. It is because of this. It's a scary time. It's a scary situation. This is one I've kept my eye on for a long time, and this is very important to talk about. This is very important to address and understand. And why can we not just get like basic protections? Why can we not just live our lives? Um, Again, this isn't about sports. This is about you being jailed in the future, and stories like the trans woman that ended up getting raped 2,000 times in Australia, saying that it was like that they died and they were facing they had to experience hell.